The exam is just a few weeks away. Let's focus on what matters most. Hi, I'm Terry from Tuition Centre Teliti. With over 25 years of teaching experience and conducting SPM seminar in school, I've helped thousands of students improve their result. I've created Expert Notes to help you revise quickly and effectively. Today's topic is chapter 7.4, Equation of Locus. Let's begin. Okay, so this is the next part, equation of locus. Okay, actually there are 3+1 type of locus. And in fact, recent SPM, they ask you even another type. Okay, so I'm not going to go there. I just show you the common one. All right, so what is locus? Locus is a moving point, and what you want to do is you want to form the equation locus. The first type is the case where you have a constant distance from a fixed point. So here my fixed point is x1, y1. The coordinate of a moving point is p, x, y. So we start off by saying the distance of AP is constantly k unit. Use a formula for distance. We've done this before in lower form 2, x minus x1 square plus y minus y1 square. The result, square root equals to k. Okay. When you expand and simplify, you get equation of circle. Okay, so let's look at example 16. We take your equation AP, you let it be 4 unit. Use a formula for distance x minus 2 square plus y minus 5 square. The result is 4. So let's square both sides, expand the bracket, x square 4x plus 4, y square 10y plus 25. The result is 16. So normally we put x square followed by y square, followed by x, followed by y. This is 29 minus 16. 13, right? Is it 13? Yep. So if it's equidistant from two fixed points, we know that, let's say this is point A, this is point B. It's like a perpendicular bisector. The locus is a moving point P. It moves such that the distance A to P is constantly the same as P to B. So we just use a formula for distance, equate both sides. So notice when you square both sides and simplify, you can cancel out the x square and y square. You will always get your answer in the form of equation of straight line. Okay, let me show you one example. Example 17. P is a moving point such that it's equidistant from C and D. So we say PC equals PD. Use a formula for distance, x minus 6 square, y minus 1 square. Your PD will be x minus 3 square, y plus 4 square. Okay, so let's square both sides. X square plus 12x plus 36, y square minus 2y plus 1, x square minus 6x plus 9, and y square plus 8y plus 16. Now, can we cancel this x square and x square? Can we cancel your y square and y square? Let's simplify further. This is 12x minus 2y plus 37, and it's equals negative 6x plus 8y plus 25. So bring everything to the left, put all the x together, 18x minus 10y, 37 minus 25 is 12. I think we can divide everything by 2. As I divide by 2, I get 9x, 5y plus 6 equals 0. Yeah, constant ratio from two fixed points. Okay, so P is a moving point such that the distance from point A and point B are always in the ratio of m is to n. So what we can do is we can say AP PB is m is to n, cross multiply, use the formula for distance, square both sides, simplify. Somehow you get the equation of circle. Now this is a bit of a unique of a circle because it's a circle with a different center. The center is not at A, it's not at B. The center is at another point C. But you don't need to know where is the point. You don't have to find the coordinate. Okay, so let me show you one example. Okay, now example 18. So find equation of locus of P which moves such that PQ PR is 2 is to 3. So PQ over PR is 2 over 3. We can cross multiply. 3PQ is 2PR. Use the formula for distance. PQ will be x minus 2 square, y minus 5 square. The result is 2 square root x. Your r is 4 and negative 1 minus a plus 1. So what we want to do is we want to square both sides. 3 square is 9. This is x square plus 4x plus 4. This is y square minus 10y plus 25. 2 square is 4. This is x square 8x plus 16, right? And y square 2y and 1. Let us expand. Okay, this is 136, right? 4x squared, 4y squared, 32x, 8y. How we can do mentally? 17 times 4, 68. Oh, a lot of work here. 9x squared minus 4x squared is 5x squared. 9y squared, 4y squared is 5y squared. 36 plus 32 is 68. 90 and 8, 98. 138 and 68. Well, how do you minus? 40, let me see, 36, 30, 32, 60, 32, 32, 60, 68, correct? I can't divide anymore. I can't simplify, so I'll stop here. This one is 29 times 9. 29 times 9. I made a mistake. It's 261. This is 261. 261 minus 68 is 193. This is 193. Sorry for the error. This is actually the fourth one, right angle from two fixed points. So if you have what we call a right angle triangle, right? I hope you know this. A right angle triangle. Okay, before we talk about right angle triangle, if you have a circle, the angle subtended at the center is always double the angle subtended at the circumference. So if this is a diameter, therefore this is always 90 degrees. No matter where you draw it, it's always 90 degrees. So we learned this before in form 3. Now, the thing is, for this question, there are actually two types of two different methods to solve it. Number one, we can use gradient m1 dot m2 equals to -1. Let's say A and B, they are fixed point, and P is a moving point such that AP, PB is 90 degrees. So we use m1 dot m2 equals -1. But you notice that x1, y1 is a fixed value, x2, y2 is a fixed value, x and y is a variable. So if you rearrange it, right, you multiply across, bring over, you will get a equation in this form. This is called equation of circle. Another method is we find the center of the circle by finding the midpoint. Midpoint of AB is C. Then you find the radius. We can find diameter first, then we have it, right? And then you find equation of locus by using CP. C is the center, P is a moving point, equals to the radius AC. Let me show you one example. So in example number 19 here, example number 19, you have 3 points A, B, and P. They lie on the circumference of a circle with diameter AB. So let's draw a circle. This is diameter AB. This is your center. And let's say P is a moving point. If P lies on the circumference, it will be 90 degrees here. So the first method we're going to use is the formula for gradient. Now we use gradient AP times gradient PB. The result is -1. Now for AP, right, I'm going to use y minus 2. So it's y plus 2, x minus 3. You multiply with y minus 1, x plus 7. The result is -1. Can we expand this? Okay, for me, I'm going to put y plus 2, multiply with y minus 1. This is negative, x minus 3, x plus 7. Bring it to the left-hand side. X minus 3, x plus 7, plus y plus 2, y minus 1, the result equals 0. So let us expand the bracket. This will be x squared minus 3 plus 7 is plus 4, minus 21. This is y squared plus y minus 2. Normally, we arrange it such that x squared comes first, followed by y squared, followed by x, followed by y, and this is 23. The result equals 0. That is method 1. Method 2, we use equation of circle. We find out the center first. Now let's call the center C. Your center is your midpoint. Midpoint of AB. So we take 3 plus -7, divide by 2, minus 2 plus 1, divide by 2. This is -2 and -half. Now with that, we need to find our diameter first. Some of you may want to find radius first. You can actually find radius. Maybe I find radius since I know the center is AC, right? I use radius. My A, I know this coordinate, so I take 3 minus -2 square, and then -2 minus -half square, put a square root over. Okay, you can use your calculator. Take, this is 5 square, The other one is actually 3 over 2. Negative 2 plus half is actually 3 over 2 square. So 1.5, I just type 1.5 square. This is square root 109 over 4. Now, if you take the square root of this, you should get 109 over 2. So remember, P is a moving point, C is a fixed point, and the ratio or the radius is constantly 109 over 2. So let's use a formula. We've done this before, right? Constant distance from a fixed point. Your x and y is your locus P here. C is, the center is at minus 2, minus 2, and minus half. This is square root 109 over 2. So let's square both sides and expand this. X squared plus 4x plus 4. This is y squared plus y plus 1 over 4. If you square this, is 109 over 4. So just put them together. X squared plus y squared plus 4x plus y. Okay, 4 plus 1 over 4 minus 109 over 4. I just put 109 here. Okay, that will give us negative 23. You notice the answer is exactly the same. So doesn't matter whether you use method 1, method 2, you get the same result. Okay, to solve problem involving loci, right, we have to find equation of locus first, the first part. In this example, there are 3 points A, B, and C. They lies on the Cartesian plane. Okay, so we are supposed to find, they say locus of P is a circle that moves such that distance from point A is constantly equals the distance of AB. So that means it's a circle like this. Now, we don't know whether it passes through C or not. We don't know. Okay, I just do a rough sketch. So the first part is find equation of locus of P. We start out by saying A to B must be AB. Okay, so P is a moving point. P can be anywhere on the circumference of the circle. So point A is negative 1, 4. Okay, so you put x plus 1 square, y minus 4 square. The result is square root. This is 2 minus 1 square, 6 minus 4 square. Okay, so when I expand both sides, this is x squared plus 2x plus 1. This is y squared minus 8y plus 16. 2 plus 1 is 3. 3 squared is 9. 9 plus 2 squared, 4. 39. This is 39. So x squared plus y squared plus 2x minus 8y. 1 plus 16 is 17. 17 minus 13, 4, right? This is 4, right? Next, determine whether locus of P passes through point C. Now, we know a locus will pass through a point if when you sub the x and y value inside, the left-hand side of this equation should be the same as the right-hand side. Yeah, you should get 0 when you sub inside. So this is what we do. We say sub minus 3, 7. All right, here LHS, LHS stands for left-hand side. So negative 3 square plus 7 square plus 2, negative 3 minus 8, your y is 7 plus 4. This will be 9 plus 49 minus 6 minus 56 plus 4. You can actually count using your calculator directly. 9 plus 49 minus 6 minus 56 plus 4. You should get 0. And this is equals to your right-hand side. Okay, so if left-hand side equals right-hand side means what? Point P, should I say locus of P? Locus P will pass through point C. That's all. Okay, so that is part A. We've done the equation of locus. Okay, next one. Line BD is a tangent of locus P at point B and intersect the x-axis at point D. So, okay, a tangent is a line that is perpendicular to the center. So this is your center. This is a tangent, so 90 degrees here, right? So we have to find this coordinate. Okay, this coordinate is your point D. Okay, this line is your tangent. So step 1, find out the gradient of AB. So we take y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1. So this is 2 over 3. Okay, next, gradient m1 times gradient m2, the result is negative 1. So what's your gradient BD? Bring it up, negative 3 over 2. Okay, negative 3 over 2. Now, with that, can you find equation of straight line BD? We use y minus y1. Your y1, I use this point. This is your x1, y1. x1, y1, this point. Your y1 is 6, gradient negative 3 over 2, x minus x1, x1 is 2. You can multiply over, you can multiply inside, up to you. I multiply over 2y minus 12 equals minus 3x plus 6. We can rewrite this as minus 3x plus 18. Now, whether you divide or not doesn't matter. If you divide it, change to gradient form, it will be this answer. If you stop here, it's still okay. Now, before you find area quadrilateral, we need to find coordinate point D, right? We need to find coordinate point D. D is your x-intercept. Now, we know at x-axis, your y is always 0. I'm going to let this equation be 0. Minus 3x plus 18. Your 3x is 18. What's your x? 18 divided by 3? 6. So your D is 6, 0. So to find equation of area of ABCD, you're supposed to find area of quadrilateral A, C, B, D. This one, oh, sorry. You're supposed to find area of this quadrilateral, right? So we can use the formula half x1, y1, x2, y2, x3, y3. Repeat the first point. x4, y4, repeat the first point. So this will give us half negative 7 minus 18, 0 and 24 minus it up. Okay, I just want to avoid problem. So I'm just going to type all this out for you. I'm going to write this out for you. Yeah. Okay, so this is 6 times 4 minus 4 times minus 3, 7 times 2, 6 times 6, 0, negative 1. Okay, let us use our calculator and count. So this is negative 7 minus 18 plus 24 minus open bracket minus 12 plus 14 plus 36. Okay, sorry, this is 36. Last one, 0, no need, right? So my answer is 39. And half of 39, although it's negative, doesn't matter because we are taking the positive value only. Area is always positive. You divide by 2, should be 19.5, right? Yeah. Take the positive value, treat like a modulus 19.5 or 19.5 square unit. If this video helped you, you can get my advanced book from Shopee or Lazada or by searching Teliti. For full step-by-step learning, check out my e-course or join my classes at Teliti Tuition Centre. Remember to like, subscribe, and share. See you in the next video.